Imagine this. You're surrounded by people chasing success. Some play fair. They work hard, stay honest, and stick to their values. But others lie, manipulate, and crush anyone who stands in their way. And yet, who do we see at the top? Who writes the rules? Who owns the world? It's often the ruthless, the unapologetic, the ones who never hesitate. Why does the world seem to reward those without morals? History shouts the answer at us. Caesars, emperors, warlords, billionaires. The pattern keeps repeating. The most ruthless rise. But this isn't just a glitch in the system. It is the system. And to truly understand it, we have to face one uncomfortable truth. Power is not a reward for goodness. It's a prize for those who take it. We're taught to believe a comforting lie, that success comes from hard work, talent, and integrity. But history, business, and politics tell a darker, more honest story. Power doesn't go to those who deserve it. It goes to those who understand the game and are willing to play it without hesitation. The world isn't designed to lift up the virtuous. It serves those who know how to control it. Success is rarely about fairness. It's about strategy, control, and the willingness to do what others won't. Why do corrupt politicians thrive? Because they know how to manipulate the system better than honest leaders. Politics isn't about justice. It's about influence. A leader who lies, silences opposition, and keeps power at any cost will rise higher than one who sacrifices power for morality. When domination is the goal, morality becomes a weakness. The most powerful rulers in history weren't the most ethical. They were the most strategic. They made promises they never meant to keep. They built alliances only to break them when needed. They knew that power isn't handed over, it's taken. In business, it's the same. Ruthless CEOs dominate industries because business isn't about kindness. It's about results. A leader who chooses fairness over profit or loyalty over performance gets left behind. The companies that survive are the ones that make hard decisions, even if it means cutting jobs or pushing boundaries. They don't make peace with competition. They crush it. The economy doesn't reward kindness. It rewards dominance. History's greatest rulers often had dark paths behind them. Alexander the Great didn't conquer the world with diplomacy. He destroyed cities. Julius Caesar rose by betraying the Senate. Napoleon built his empire not by following the rules but by rewriting them. Power is not about being kind. It's about being in control. The most remembered leaders understood that a ruler must be feared before they are loved. Fairness, as we're taught, is often just an illusion, a story to keep the weak in line. Society tells us to follow the rules, play fair, and trust that good people will win in the end. But who created these rules? The very people who benefit from them. Workers are told to stay loyal while companies lay them off the moment profits drop. Citizens are told to obey while the powerful bend the laws in their favor. So what do you think? Is the system broken, or is this exactly how it was always meant to work? While ordinary people follow the law, the powerful often bend it to their advantage. The masses believe in justice, but those in control know how to twist the legal system to protect themselves. Fairness isn't a universal rule. It's a story told to keep people in line. In reality, the world belongs to those who understand this truth and act on it. Power doesn't go to the most deserving. It goes to those bold enough to take it. The philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche didn't just question morality, he exposed it as a carefully crafted illusion. In his famous work, Beyond Good and Evil, he argued that morality isn't an absolute truth. Instead, it's a tool created by the weak to shame, control, and limit the strong. What we call good and evil are not fixed ideas. They're social beliefs, shaped to serve different groups. Those who lack the strength to lead build moral systems that make strength and ambition seem wrong, while glorifying obedience and humility. But the strong see morality for what it really is, a cage meant to hold them back. At the core of Nietzsche's thinking is the will to power, the idea that humans are driven not just by happiness or peace, but by the desire to shape the world, to make it match their own vision. Power isn't just about politics or violence. It's mental, emotional, creative. The greatest minds in history, leaders, artists, warriors, weren't passive or polite. They didn't just follow the rules. They bent reality to fit their will. This drive isn't about being cruel. It's about refusing to be limited, about breaking through barriers and making your own way. Those who embrace this force shape history. Those who don't become forgotten. Nietzsche believed there are two kinds of morality: master morality and slave morality. Master morality belongs to the strong. It traits that separate them from the rest. These traits are the real currency of power, and those who master them end up dominating the world. The first and most essential trait is ambition, a deep, relentless hunger to rise. Ambitious people aren't satisfied with average. They don't settle. While most accept their circumstances and make peace with mediocrity, the ambitious see every obstacle as a challenge and every failure as fuel. Ambition isn't about daydreaming, it's about obsession. It's the unshakable belief that you're meant for more and the refusal to accept anything less. Just look at the greatest rulers, CEOs, and innovators in history. None of them were content. They wanted more, and they took it. Indecision is death in the world of power. The weak hesitate, overthink, and doubt themselves. The strong act. Decisive people don't wait for perfect timing. They create it. While others are still weighing options, the powerful are already executing plans. Being decisive doesn't mean being reckless. It means trusting your gut, committing to action, and adjusting as you go. Most people fear risk because they fear failure or rejection. But the powerful see risk as the price of victory. Fear is what keeps most people stuck. They fear standing out, failing, or facing the unknown. But for those chasing power, fear becomes a compass. If something scares them, it's usually a sign they're headed in the right direction. The most successful people in history, entrepreneurs, revolutionaries, conquerors, didn't play it safe. They risked everything, knowing that fortune favors the bold. Then there's strategic ruthlessness, the ability to know when to follow the rules and when to break them. The world loves to talk about fairness, but those who climb to the top know the truth. Rules only exist if you believe in them. The powerful follow rules when it helps them and break them when it doesn't. They know when kindness is a strength and when it's a weakness. Strategic ruthlessness isn't about being cruel. It's about being effective. It means cutting out distractions, removing emotion from critical decisions, and doing what must be done, even when it's uncomfortable. The cold truth? Success favors strength, not morality. The world doesn't reward kindness or fairness. It rewards those who understand the psychology of power and use it. Winners aren't always the most ethical, but they are the most ambitious, decisive, fearless, and strategic. If you want to rise, you must develop these traits. Because in the end, power doesn't wait to be earned, it must be taken. But here's a warning. While power is seductive, it's also dangerous. Many rise to the top through ruthlessness, manipulation, and dominance. They feel untouchable. But history tells a different story. Power, if not mastered, becomes a trap. What lifts a leader, a CEO, or a ruler can also destroy them. Julius Caesar is a perfect example. Brilliant and ambitious, but ultimately the target of his own success. So what matters more to you, being good or being in control of your own destiny? Julius Caesar was a master of politics, cunning, strategic, and charismatic enough to bend the Roman Republic to his will. But in the end, his greatest strength became his downfall. He grew too powerful. The Senate saw him as a threat, and his allies turned into enemies. What once made him unstoppable now made him a target. In 44 BC, he was assassinated by the very people who once supported him. His death wasn't just a betrayal, it was the price of unchecked ambition. Then there's Napoleon Bonaparte, a military genius who transformed France into a European empire. His strategies were revolutionary and his hunger for power had no limit. But like Caesar, his ambition blinded him. He pushed too far, ignoring warnings and underestimating his enemies. His invasion of Russia was a fatal mistake. What began as brilliance turned into arrogance, and his empire eventually crumbled. From emperor to exile, Napoleon's story reminds us that those who fail to control their hunger for power will eventually be consumed by it. In the business world, the same story plays out. Corporate giants rise and fall when they forget to evolve. Blockbuster once ruled the video rental industry, but laughed off Netflix as irrelevant. Kodak invented the digital camera, yet refused to embrace it, fearing it would hurt their film business. These were titans who believed they were untouchable. But power doesn't wait. It demands evolution. The moment a company becomes arrogant or stagnant, it begins to fall. The key lesson: master power or be destroyed by it. Ruthlessness alone is not enough. True power requires balance. Dominance must be paired with wisdom. Success must be sustained with awareness. The greatest mistake powerful people make is believing they are invincible. The moment they stop managing power, power begins to manage them. So, if you rise, will you learn from history or will you fall like the rest? Real, lasting power. Third, stay strategic. Know when to be ruthless and when to build alliances. Power isn't just about crushing competition. It's about timing, planning, and understanding the game. Even the most powerful figures in history knew the value of patience, unity, and smart moves. So here's the question. If power came your way, would you know how to hold it without letting it destroy you? Julius Caesar didn't rise by force alone. He built smart alliances before seizing Rome. Machiavelli, one of the greatest minds in political strategy, understood a timeless truth. Great leaders know when to appear kind and when to be feared. True power isn't about destroying everyone around you. It's about creating loyalty, commanding respect, and using both kindness and ruthlessness as tools. The key? Never let emotions dictate your actions. If ruthlessness is needed, use it. If kindness benefits you, embrace it. Your morality should be a weapon, not a cage. Adaptation is survival. If history teaches us anything, it's this: those who fail to evolve eventually fall. Empires collapse when they can't face new enemies. Businesses crumble when they resist innovation. Leaders fall when they grow too comfortable. The real masters of power understand that rigidity is death. Only those who grow, change, and shift their strategy survive. Strength isn't found in stubbornness. It's found in those who learn, adjust, and endure. So what's the real balance between power and morality? True strength doesn't lie in blind ruthlessness or blind virtue. It lies in mastering both. Will you be a pawn of the system, a brute who rises quickly and crashes even faster? Or will you walk the third path, strength without corruption? The world doesn't operate on fairness. It doesn't reward the kind, nor does it always punish the wicked. It rewards strength, clarity, and those brave enough to face reality as it is, not as they wish it to be. Most people live in an illusion. They believe that hard work and goodness alone will lead them to success. But history shows otherwise. The people who rise aren't always the smartest or the kindest. They're the ones who understand the rules of the game and play it better than anyone else. Power isn't good or bad. It's a tool, a force of nature. In the hands of the weak, it causes chaos. In the hands of tyrants, it creates suffering. But in the hands of the wise, it shapes the world. If you want power, you must be ready to face the truth. Success is not given. It is taken. You must be willing to make difficult decisions, question traditional morality, and claim your place in the world. But don't forget, power without control leads to downfall. Many who rise fast fall even faster, brought down by their own arrogance. So the real question is this: will you master power, or will it master you? If this message spoke to something deep in you, if you're hungry to understand power, philosophy, and psychology on a deeper level, then subscribe to the channel. Challenge yourself. Rise above. Become more. Like this video. Share it with someone who needs to hear the truth. And comment below, is morality a weakness in today's world? Or can real power exist without ruthlessness? Let's discuss.